and today we're gonna go over proper technique for the front rack walking lunge and the overhead walking lunge. So first we're gonna go over the lunge technique. So I'm actually gonna put a PVC pipe down and have Nate stand on either side of it with both feet, okay? The reason we're doing this is because we wanna make sure that each foot is in line with each hip bone when we step out. So I'm actually gonna have Nate take a big step forward with one foot. From here, I'm gonna have him drop his back knee to the ground. Now what we're creating here is what's called a vertical shin. So his knee is in line with his ankle, right? And he's not too far forward with the knee and not too far back. His chest is really tall, right? Now he's gonna push through both feet, stand up, and step forward. We're gonna repeat this with the opposite leg. So now we're just gonna step forward with that other leg, drop that back knee to the ground, push up, and step forward while maintaining a really tall chest, okay? So this is the proper lunge technique. Now it gets a little trickier when we add weight. We're gonna start with the front rack walking lunge, which is up on the shoulders where the weight is sitting in the frontal plane, okay? So what we're gonna do is grab a barbell. So Nate is gonna grab a bar from the ground. We're gonna bring it to the shoulders by cleaning it up. From here, we're gonna make sure that we're driving the elbows nice and high. So we're gonna keep the fingertips loose, elbows towards the ceiling, okay? We're gonna try and maintain this position through the entire movement. So as Nate steps out into his lunge, he is continuing to drive the elbows nice and high. So let's step out. Good. Now we're gonna drop that back knee to the ground and continue to drive the elbows up as we step forward towards that front foot. So why don't you take a step forward? Good. And now let's repeat it on the other foot. So notice as he's doing this lunge, keep going. Good. And step forward, that those elbows stay in the same line the entire time. Okay? So that is your front rack walking lunge. Let's do a couple more a little quicker. So this is at full speed. Great. Okay, so now gets even more complicated with the overhead walking lunge. So the overhead walking lunge is where the weight is directly over the middle of our body as we're lunging forward. So what we're gonna do is start with the weight from the ground, okay? We can either clean it first to the shoulders and press it overhead, or we could just snatch it from the ground and go directly over. So Nate is gonna start at the shoulders, and then we're just gonna press it up and overhead. Good. So ideally, we wanna be a little narrower in the grip because this is a lot more stable than that wide grip, but if you have a little bit of immobility in the shoulder, then you can go a little wider, okay? So same technique applies. We're gonna step forward, keeping the chest tall. As we step forward and go ahead, we're going to push the bar back over the middle of our body. So we're still maintaining that tall position overhead. So bring that other leg to meet the front one. Good. And step with the other side. And that bar stays in the same place the whole time overhead. As he's doing this, he's pressing up as hard as he can into the sky, so that way those elbows stay straight, okay? So this is our overhead walking lunge at full speed. So, great. So those are our lunge variations, the front rack lunge and the overhead walking lunge. Thank you for joining us today.